is I'll walk you through how to set up your follow-up plans, and it's under the setup menu, manage follow-up plans. There's a sample in there. The second thing I'll do is I'll go through and I'll show you how to set up your automated emails. Okay, looks like Jennifer, you've been tinkering a little bit here. We've got one in here. And then you can take those emails and you associate an email to a task on a follow-up plan. And that's how you create an automated email. And I'll walk you through that. And then lastly, which is the easiest thing to do, is I'll go over the newsletter and how it works, because that's probably take 5 minutes or less. Okay. So the way follow-up plans work, all right, is you create a plan, and the plan has a series of tasks or next steps. Once you add that plan to a lead, those tasks obviously get added to the lead, and the time when the task is due is based on what you put in the due column for each task. So that task could be due immediately. It could be due in a day, a week, a month, 10 days from now. You probably get the picture. Now, you can take a plan, and a plan can be attached to a status change or a priority change. So let's say you go in here and you have a lead and you move them from prospect to signed contract. Well, you want a new plan to take over when you move them into the contract status, and all the old tasks will go away and the new tasks will be created for you automatically when you change the status for that lead. Does that make sense?
So for each status, you need to have a specific follow-up plan?
You don't have to. It's not required. So if you don't have a plan for a status and you take a lead, let's go grab a lead real quick. I won't change anything here. But if you take a lead and you move them from prospect, I don't know what mock means, but prospect to broker status, and broker status does not have a follow-up plan, nothing happens. You just change their status. But if broker status does have a follow-up plan, all the tasks that are attached to that lead will go away, and a new set of tasks will be created. Okay? And I'll tell you what I'll do. At the end of this, I'll log into the demo account and I'll show you how that works in real life. Actually, let me just do that right now. Let me go in and log in. I'll log into the demo account. Okay. I'm going slow to make sure the screen refreshes in time for you. I will go look at I'll go look at the follow-up plans. So let's say we have this plan here for a lead who walks into the model. Let me try to make this a little bit bigger. Okay. So this lead walks into a model and they get this plan. Okay. And then let's say we take that lead and we move them to, we've got so many plans in here, it's crazy. But let me find another one for you. Let's say I qualify them and I move them into prospecting status from a walk-in. So I find out that they are a qualified lead. They walk into the model, and I'm going to move them to prospecting status. Okay, and they'll get this 6. And I realize that they're a 6-month buyer. Their time frame is about 6 months out, and they'll get that 6-month move-in plan. Okay, so I'll go in. I'm gonna take a lead, and we're gonna pick on Warren Buffett here. I'm gonna go ahead and move them to a walk-in or a new online query. Let me see here. Let me make sure I get this right. Yeah. I'm going to start them off as a pretend like it's not walk-in. It came in online. They came in online. I qualified them, and they have this plan. Okay. Or there may be no plan in place when they first come in. Now, when I move them into prospecting status, you're going to see right away that they're going to get a new plan was just added to their account. And the first thing on that plan is an automated email that goes out. You'll see it here. So that's how the plans work and how they're applied to leads. Now, you don't have to attach a plan to a status. You can simply go in and add a plan at random. You could just say, I want this plan to be attached to this lead, and it all of a sudden I added it.
Hey, Eric.
It's Dawn.
Dawn?
Dawn is on vacation.
No,
This is
Dave is on vacation.
No, Dawn's on vacation. This is Dave. Sorry.
Dave, how do we set up where when a prospect goes in, it automatically populates our follow-up plan?
Yeah.
We just have one right now or whatever.
Sure. The way that works is, did we set up a form on your website? I can't remember.
We're still working on our website. That's in the process.
Right now, we're manually entering leads and top builders that come to our website.
Okay. So what will happen when your website is done, and I think, Jennifer, did Dawn share with you that setup worksheet for that contact form?
Yep, we've got that.
Okay. So what happens, Scott? I assume that was Scott asking the question.
Yes.
When you get your website done and that form comes back, what we're going to do is let me take a real builder instead of using our website. Let me take Sunlight. I'm just picking on one here. So this is fresh in my mind because oh gosh, sorry for the music, but I just finished this one, so it's like I said, it's fresh in my mind. So when you go to Sunlight Heritage Homes, we have this form on here, and your website will have one of these too. In our form, sorry, I'm not as familiar with GoToMeeting as I am. With webinars as I am GoToMeeting. Will go right there on your website. Okay. Now, you'll notice here that they have a lot of they have a couple selection lists here, and if they select they want a free brochure. I know I'm getting a little fancy here, and they pick a community, okay, and then they submit this form. That lead goes directly into Top Builder, and then if they request a brochure, we send them an email that has a link to download that brochure. And then it'll also say, hey, thank you for your interest in Cedar Hollow, Phase 2, blah, 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 blah. So when we get that worksheet back on these forms, we'll set up the forms. We'll even set up the follow-up plans for you, and then we'll walk you through how that works. It's a lot to take on at one time, but it's once we introduce it to you, it's pretty simple. Okay, but
Can we set up the follow-up plans like now, or we have to wait?
No, you can do them now. No. I'm sorry, you don't have to wait at all. You can do them now, and we will help you with that. I'm just saying, a lot of times when we set up these forms, they don't have a follow-up plan for online leads, and we create one for them. Okay. But what these plans look like is, like I said, you have these steps that are attached to the leads, or to the plan, and then when the lead comes in from your website, or if they're a new lead, we attach the plan to the lead, and then those steps kick in. Now, if it's an automated email that we attach to one of those steps, that email goes out automatically. And so, since you're wanting to do that now, let's go ahead and log into your account and let's create one, and I'll show you how it works. Okay. So I think that's the best way to do it. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to log in under Scott again, and I'll go to the setup menu and I'll say manage follow-up plans. I'm going to leave the sample there, and I'm going to go ahead and add a new plan. And I'm going to say this plan is a new online lead, and I'm going to say new website, because you may have other ways of getting online leads, maybe if not now, maybe in the future. But let's just go ahead and say this is our new online lead that's coming in from your website. I'm going to go ahead. Excuse me. Sorry, my allergies are really bad right now. The plan's empty. I don't have any tasks associated with this plan right now. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll create a task, and I'm just going to say the first task is an automated email response to new online lead. Okay. This is, and you don't have to type in all this. I'm making it a little bit verbose because I want to provide a good description for you. But I'll say this is an automated email response to a new lead who fills out our contact us form. Okay. And I'm going to say it's a task type. I'm going to give it a category as an automated email. So when you see these in the history behind the prospect, you'll know this was an automated email that went out from the system. The priority really doesn't matter because it's going to go out automatically. And the task doesn't really matter whose it's assigned to because it's automatically going to go out, but it'll default to the person that's assigned to the lead, just because it has to have an owner. And then I'll say it's due immediately. And I'll go ahead and say update, and now I have that task. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another task, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to add an automated email to this first task. Okay. But let me go ahead and add another task to this, and I'm going to call this task the first follow-up with new online lead. Okay. And the description will be call if phone provided, or email new prospect. This is the first follow-up with the new prospect. Okay. And I'm going to put phone call in there from going out from phone call to them. And then I'm going to make this very critical because it's important to do that fit quickly. And I'm going to make it due in a day. Okay. And you can remind yourself to do it, but you'll get a reminder if it doesn't get done anyway. So we usually don't recommend. Go ahead.
Real quick, where does that reminder go? To Does it stay in Top Builder or does it shoot an email from the sales agent?
Let me show you. Let me go ahead and create this. Okay. And then under the setup, under your login ID, you can say, I want my past due tasks to get an email, a text message, or go on my calendar. Okay. But Scott, you'll have to put your mobile number and your wireless carrier in here to get the text messages.
Does can the admin do that for each of the each of the reps, or does
Yes.
the rep have to do it?
So the admin can go under here under user setup. Oh, I hate it when this happens. Sorry for that. But the user.
Can the rep undo it?
Sorry.
Can the rep undo it?
Yes.
So if the individual didn't want to receive text messages, they
Yes.
could go in and uncheck that box.
Yeah, the rep can go in under their profile and change their alerts if they want to. Okay. But as an administrator, I think, Scott, who's the administrator? Is it you or Jennifer?
I think Jennifer and I are both admin profiles.
Well, then you can go in here under user setup and set their alert preferences for everybody. Okay. And I'll go ahead and show you how to do that since we're training here. Hey guys, just yell at me if I'm going too fast and the screen doesn't refresh quick enough, okay? I don't.
Will do.
I don't know how quick or slow your network connection is. So I'm Scott, and yes, Scott, you are an administrator. I can go under user setup, and then what I can do is I can say, oh, Wendy used to be another user for us. Is she there on the call?
I'm here, yeah.
Yeah, Wendy, you used to work for that real estate agency, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, wow, that's weird. All right. Okay, I wasn't going crazy. So for Scott, we already set up his alert preferences, okay? Let me ask you this while we're doing this. Who's going to be in charge of the newsletter?
Who's in charge of the newsletters? I would say Jennifer.
I'll be taking care of it once we learn how to do it. I haven't been able to make any adjustments to like anything in the newsletter section.
Okay. Well, who's talking? Is that Jennifer?
It's Jennifer.
Okay.
I'll be taking care of the newsletters, but I haven't been able to figure out how to schedule them out or anything like that.
Yeah, we're gonna cover that today, and if you don't have time, I can cover it with you one-on-one. It's the easiest thing we do. Really, it's. Yeah, and I'm not trying to be insulting, but if you haven't done it, everything's difficult if you've never been shown how to do it. But once I show you how to do it, you'll love it because it's real easy. Okay, so I set up my alert preferences for Scott, and Scott, you're going to go ahead and you're going to get an email reminder for the newsletter as well, and maybe as a backup in case Jennifer's out or something. And you can go change them. Now, Wendy, we can go set her alert preferences. I think, in my opinion, this is the best way to do it. All right. I think you want these too, just in case. But you can go change them if you want. Okay, Jennifer. I'll make sure these saved. Yep. Jennifer, you're next. Alert preferences. Oh, look at you. Okay, I think you've got yours set the way you want them. That's good. I like that. And then we have Robert. Alert preferences.
Robert likes text too.
Well, you got
no fun.
Everybody's different, and that's why we have it. That's why we have it set up this way. So I don't like text messages. The problem I have with text messages, if I'm driving or something and I don't look at it right away, then it's gone. So that's just me. But everybody, like I said, everybody's different. So that's how you set up your alert preferences. And as I said, under setup, you can go under your profile and you can change them. I'm logged in as Scott, but you can change your alerts anytime. Okay? Good stuff?
Yep,
All right.
good stuff.
Okay, good. All right, so back to setup, managing follow-up plans, and I have the new website online lead follow-up plan. And I have two tasks. I have a task that sends an automatic email when they first fill out the contact form. And then I have another task to remind the person in charge of the lead to make that first contact. Now let me just tell you this, because this is important, and Wendy may have experience with this, I don't know. But when we set up your contact form, okay, let me log out and log in as I think we have this in the demo. Let me look at the demo account real quick. Whoopsie. When we add the contact form to your website, yeah, okay, here we go. So if you'll see right here, I went to set up, manage online contact form rules. Okay, so you have a contact form on your website, and then you can define different sets of rules for that contact form. For example, you may want a different follow-up plan if they request a brochure, because you might want to email it to them electronically versus, not a brochure. Or you might want to have different follow-up plans based on the community that they select. And so essentially you can set rules based on how they fill out that form. And you would imagine, if you have a bunch of communities and you have different people working in different communities, well, if they request, information about community ABC, well, you want the community sales manager in community ABC to get that lead, right? Am I making sense at all?
Mhm.
Okay. So that's how we set up the rules. But also what we can do is we can define who gets those email alerts as well. And the point that I'm trying to make here is you'll get multiple alerts when these leads come in. So when a lead comes in from the website, you're going to get an email immediately when that lead comes in, and it's going to tell you everything you need to know about that lead. It'll tell you who it is, what information they filled out on that form, what their phone number is, what their email address is, any comments they put on the form, and then it'll also provide you with a link to Top Builder, where you just click on that link and it opens up that lead in Top Builder, and then you can say, oh, you can put notes in there or whatever you need to do. Okay. So just keep in mind, while we're setting up these follow-up plans and we have these reminders and these alerts for these tasks, you're also going to get one from the new lead when it comes in from the contact form. Okay. Unless you turn the alerts off on that processing rules, but that's completely up to you. I get copied on every lead that comes in from our website, and Eric hates it because I call him right away and I say, "Hey, did you get this?" And he goes, "Yeah, I've already called him." You can imagine how that goes, right? So, but I like to see him come in. I get excited when I see a lead comes in and they're looking for some information. So it's fun to be copied on those. Okay, so I set up a simple follow-up plan with two simple tasks. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and I'm going to create a automated email. Okay, and I'm going to show you how this works in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and create a test lead if you're okay with me doing that, and we'll watch it we'll watch it work. Okay.
Where do you go to get this again? The setup?
I'm sorry, set up, manage automated emails. And previous to this, we went to set up, manage follow-up plans. Okay, so we were here, and now I'm going to go to set up automated emails. Okay? We cool?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, Jennifer, you did this today.
Yeah, I was playing around with it.
Okay. I'm going to leave that alone, and I'll go ahead and create a new one for this training. Okay. I'm going to put this is an auto response to a new web lead. That's a description of this email and what's in it. The customer does not see this description. We put that in the notes to the side here because nobody would use the description field because they were afraid the customer would see it. Well, the customer never sees it. Okay, so here's the subject of your email. And let's just say, thank you for your interest in... Please tell me if I misspell something because I'm really not very good at that. Thank you for your interest in Artisan Homes. You can put a from email and a reply to email in here, but the default will be that it'll come from the agent assigned to that lead. And we do that because when they reply to that email, you'll want to receive that reply. Now you can override that, and that has to be something we have to do for you, but you can override that and have it come from this email address if you want. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so we'll just keep the from and the reply to blank.
Well, it may require it, to be honest. Yeah, but and I'm sorry if that's misleading, but how do you spell this again? AF.
Builder. So it's Artisan Home Builder.
Did I get it right?
Okay.
ArtisanHomeBuilder.com.
Is that right?
Artisan Home.
Artisan.
Yeah, doesn't matter. ArtisanHomeBuilder.com.
Oh, thank you. Okay. All right. So we've got really what we're putting in here is the subject, and you'll notice it's not ready to be published yet. And we do that because if you're editing an email and it's attached to a follow-up plan, you don't want it to start going out until you've finished what you are writing. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and you can pick a layout and a template for it. I'm going to go ahead and pick the follow-up one, and I'll explain why in a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to enter the content of the email, which is step number 3. And down here in the body of the email, I'm going to say, you have different communities, right?
Yes.
I'm just going to do this for, excuse me, illustration purposes here, for training purposes, and we can go back and change it, but I want to show you a few tricks. Okay, community name. My name is, oh shoot. Assigned to, sorry if that's real small, but Okay. Whoopsie. Okay. We can write this, finish writing this up later. But now what I'm going to do, and this is the tricky part, is I'm going to go say, I want to go ahead and take that email and I want it to be assigned to this step right here on the web online lead plan. Now you can imagine you could write up like a generic email and attach it to more than one task. But right now, this is pretty specific, and I'm going to attach it to this one task. Now, again, at the end of this, I'll create a lead, and I'll show you how all this kind of comes together for you. Okay. But now I'm going to go to step 5, and I'm going to preview it. And you'll see, okay, that this is what I wrote up. It's addressing it to the person's first name, and just for preview purposes, we put your name in there as the person logged in. But I could change this to Wendy if I wanted to, or I could change this to Jennifer if I wanted to, but I'm going to have it as Scott right now. We don't have Scott's phone number in there. So let me go ahead and put Wendy. I need to format this better. But thank you for your interest in Artisan Home in the community of, so we plugged the community in there where we had that tag that I showed you. My name is Wendy, and you may reach me at blank or in the email. Okay? And then we have Wendy's signature block down bottom. Now, if I change that to Jennifer, same thing. Okay? And so this is the email that they will get. Scott, I'll go ahead and send this to you now so you can see it in your inbox. Okay? Now, this email has not been published yet, but I'm going to go ahead and publish it, and now it's ready to go. And now when I go back to the follow-up plans, okay, and I look at my new website online lead follow-up plan, you'll see that it now has an automated email attached to it. And if you want to, you can just click on this and you can go preview or edit that email. Okay. Now I have to go back to manage follow-up plans, which is a little awkward, but once you get used to it, you'll figure it out. And also, once you have it set up, you probably don't have to even go back here at all. Okay.
And Dave, does it log somewhere when that email went out? And
Yeah.
like start the That's the start of the follow-up plan?
Yes, it does. And it logs it in multiple places, and it also logs it when they open the email, so you know they actually got it. Okay. Now, if it bounces back, you'll know about that too. But let's go ahead and do an experiment real quick if we can. Are you okay with me doing this in your account, creating myself as a lead and then closing it out? Are you okay with that, or do you want me to do this in the demo account?
That's fine.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and go in here. I like to do this anyways because, to be honest, I really like to watch and monitor your emails into my email address, my email account, and your newsletters, and make sure everything's happening correctly. And also, I like to make sure that you're using these components too, even though we do have reports on that. But I'm going to go ahead and say, I'll pick a community. I remember all this from a while ago. I'm gonna put myself in as Anglers Cove Dave Knowles test. Okay, and it's a to be built. Now I want a custom home. I definitely want a custom home. Okay. So you know how all this works. So I'll put Dave and Jill. And you've probably done this differently, but that's okay. You know how this goes. I'm gonna go ahead and put my work number in here, and then my work email. Okay. Okay. I can go ahead and apply that new web follow-up plan right now when I create this lead. Oh, shoot. I need to say this. They came in from the website. All right. And the priority is going to be, I'm ready to sign a contract now. Okay. So I like the home. I want a custom home. We're going to build it. And that's it. I'll save and close. Actually, I'll save and enter more information. Takes me to the detail page. And now you'll see that follow-up plan is attached to my lead record. Now, that email has not gone out yet, but if I refresh this a few times, hopefully it will be gone. Let me pause the screen for a second and go make sure this thing goes out like right now. Oopsie. Okay, running the program to send it. Yeah, it finished up a few minutes ago. So, okay, I see the email went out. Share my screen again. Refresh. Okay, that task is now gone. Okay, but that task is now in the history. So you'll see in the history that that thing went out. Did I answer your question about the record of it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, when I get it in my email, I always take a risk opening my email during a demo. Okay, so I got my email, okay, and you can see it addressed it to my first and last name, reference the community, reference Scott as the owner of the lead, and then his email as well, okay. Now what should happen is I'll go back and refresh this again. Oh, cool. Check it out, man. You'll see I read it.
Where does it say?
The email read in activity.
I don't hear ooh and ah. Where's that? Come on.
I said, that's what I like. That's Wendy.
Good. I like to hear that.
I like to know when they read it, because then you don't,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not constant. At least you know they read it, and it can be on some kind of campaign. Okay, they read it, give them 2 days.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And let me do this too. Let me go ahead and click on the link as well. And I'm going to go back and
Our website doesn't do all that, you know.
refresh again.
Do what?
Go back to the history. Oh, look at there. They clicked on a link, and now you saw that they clicked on a link, and you know what link they clicked on as well, right? So isn't that cool? Now,
That is cool.
now what will happen is tomorrow at 12:55. Are you guys are on the East Coast, I guess, right? Okay. Yeah, because it's 11:55 here. So it sets this up on your time zone. It's smart enough to know where you are. And then Scott, if you don't call me and close out this task, you're going to get an alert to say you need to do this. Okay? I'm going to leave this here for you and let that happen if that's okay, or we can kill it if you want to. But
No, go ahead, that's fine.
I want since we're training and everything, you'll see it. And it's funny because we do demos all the time, obviously. And I get I get all kinds of reminders and alerts and emails for the Mickey Mouse and uh, you know Hillary Clinton and all these crazy things that were done for you need to contact Hillary Clinton um, who's interested in a home. You know, it's hilarious. But anyways, okay, so I got through that. That worked. That worked well. And that really, I mean, to summarize, that really covered your first two main items, which was setting up follow-up plans and then follow-up emails, automated emails.
Yeah, I think it did, Dave. If you could just run through the 5-minute newsletter thing real quick, I think.
Okay, good. Now, I do want to point out to you that you see that this email is assigned to one task, and you've got one that has gone out, right? That's pretty cool. And then you'll also know how many are scheduled to go out, which is also really cool. So, yeah. And so it's kind of neat because you'll see, I've got this email that I've got queued up, and it's scheduled to go out to a bunch of people. So okay, I'm glad that you enjoyed that and got some value out of it. Okay, so let me go ahead and go to your newsletter, and I have a presentation ready for you on the newsletter, and I'll walk through it very quickly. And again, this is recorded, so you'll get this. Now, the newsletter is real simple. It's really designed to kind of run on its own with little work on your behalf. When somebody is added to Top Builder, they're automatically added to your newsletter. So when I go in here, whoopsie, sorry, I just clicked on the wrong thing. When I go in here and I create a new lead, you can see that right here, they're automatically added to the newsletter. If I create a new contact record, same thing. They're automatically added to the newsletter. Now you can uncheck that, of course, if you want to, but that's just how it works. Now, everybody has the ability to opt out or unsubscribe if they want to. So why not? If they go to your website and they fill out a contact form, yeah, put them on your newsletter. Now, a lot of times we'll have a checkbox on there to opt in. It's completely up to you whether you want that checkbox. But if they go to your website and they say contact me, I mean, they're indirectly opting into your email. They're asking for you to contact them. So there's nothing legally wrong with that. Okay. So each month, a newsletter topic is automatically selected for you, and you have the ability to go in here and change it. And so we've set you up to go out on the 12th of each month, and we can change that anytime we want. Okay? If you'd rather it be on the 1st, that's fine. I recommend not doing it on the 1st. And the reason why I recommend not doing it on the 1st is because everybody sends newsletters out on the 1st, and you'll get lost with everybody else, right? I recommend you do it on an odd kind of day, like the 7th day or the 8th day of the month, something like that. Not the 15th and not the 30th, and definitely not the 1st. But the 12th is a good day, to be honest. And we won't send it out on the weekend or a holiday either, just so you know. That's complete waste of time. But okay, so you have your subscribers in here. You should never have to go to this. But if somebody calls the office and you want to unsubscribe them, you can go in here and unsubscribe them, okay, if you want to. But hopefully you'll never have to go there. Now, if you want to go in and look at your newsletter, let's say you get a reminder and it says your newsletter is due. You can log in, click on the newsletter menu option right here, and then preview it and say, well, do I really want this newsletter? Maybe. I can send myself a test message, see what it looks like in my email or on my phone. But let's say I don't like this. Let's say I would rather not use this. If you wanted to, you could say, this is what we do to save you on your energy bill. So you can edit this if you want to and then send it out. Or you can pick another topic. And you can see here that there is a ton of topics. Okay. This one is going out tomorrow. Saturday. And I said don't send it out on Saturdays, but some of our subscribers insist on doing it, so we let them. But this one's going out on Saturday.
How do you change the date of when it goes out? Because we've got it at 6/13. That was almost 3 months ago.
Yeah, the date gets you've never sent out a newsletter, so it never reset the date. You're still way past due.
I can't change that. How do I?
No.
How do I change that date?
Let me explain.
You
You send an email. Let me finish this up here. You send an email to support@topbuildersolutions.com, okay? And then we'll send the newsletter for you, okay? Then, and you say, I want it to go out tomorrow at noon, as an example. And then we'll send it out, and then this date will reset to October. What's today? Today's the 15th. It'll reset it to October the 12th.
That makes sense why I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, the first one you have to send out and send it to them, and then that's going to start your email.
Yeah, it's never gone out, so you're still waiting to send out your June newsletter. I know that may not make a lot of sense. Maybe it wasn't the best design, and we should change it. But that's
so we're not able to like go in and select the date and send it out ourselves. We have to go.
We're gonna make that change here in the future. But for now, you need to send us an email. Okay.
Every month or
just the first
start the first month.
Okay.
So then it says.
And then
yeah, and then your job person's Jim.
Dave, does it send like the admin people an email before the 12th to make sure?
Yes. Yes.
Just to make sure it's the one we want to send out?
Yes. So 2 days before your email is supposed to go out, or maybe it's 1 day, you'll get an email that says your newsletter is scheduled to go out. It'll give you the subject or the topic of the email. It will give you a link to go in and edit the topic, and then you just send us an email and say, okay, we're ready to go. Please send it on this date.
And who does that email go to?
I'm sorry?
Who does that reminder email go to?
Well, it depends on those alert preferences. If you have see this reminder here?
Okay.
If you have that turned on, you'll get it. Okay. Now, I'll show you what that reminder looks like on the calendar as well. Because it is kind of hard to miss, to be frank. When it's on your calendar.
Hey, is anybody with that reminder email turned on for the newsletter? They can approve the newsletter?
Well, you approve it through an email, so I would expect to have it from Jennifer or Scott.
So we every month have to approve it and.
Yeah, we want to make sure we're sending out.
No. I mean, like every month we have to send you an email approving the.
You haven't sent one. Yes, and that's going to start.
I thought I scheduled it out in June. Like I thought it went out.
No, it has not. But Jennifer, I don't know if that's you, but the short answer is yes. You do have to send us an email and say it's ready to go. Now, if you want us to, we can. Just send it out every month, but I don't think you want that.
No.
Yeah, see, you have no history in your newsletter. You have not sent one. We could send it right now if you want to. if you want to pick a topic.
Yeah, was it all our contacts?
What's that?
Was that all our contacts?
It'll go to your 150 contacts.
Yeah, what are they? Yeah, go ahead and do it so we're backing up to date.
Okay, let's do it right now. I'm going to sign out.
So now after we send the first one, it'll automatically go out on the 12th.
You have to set it up at the 12th of every month.
Send some email reminder that we get there.
Yes. So we just have to.
There's a link on that email to approve it.
Yeah, but she said, hang on, which ones you want for October?
Should auto select the next one. Is that correct? And we can go in and.
It does auto select, Jennifer. It auto selects one for you, but you may not like the one it selects. That's why we want you to review it and approve it. You know, we just don't want these newsletters to go out. You may not want it. You may say, oh, that's not, we don't support that, or we don't do smart homes, or we don't do this kind of green building stuff, or whatever. We have a lot of builders that'll do just little cookie cutter home, and they don't want to tell people about that. Okay, your newsletter has gone out. I am going to log back in as Scott. You guys should get an email saying that it went out. Okay.
Even if we're not set up as a lead, just so
no, you'll get that. See, if you look under your profile, see how it says newsletter sent. You'll also get it. We also set you up, Scott, like to get an alert when it's gone out. Okay. So I'm going to go back to your newsletter homepage, and look, we've got history now, and like I said, you're now back to October the 12th.
Like if we wanted to make up our own newsletters, do you have that option?
Of course. You can go in here, edit the next topic, and say, I'm going to just clear this one out, and I'm going to add my own.
Gotcha.
And you just drop it right in here. I don't know if you know HTML, but if you build it in like some HTML program, you can just drop the HTML right in there, or you can take Microsoft Word and just paste it in. Now you'll have to upload the images individually, but yeah, that's how it works. It's really cool. It's really cool.
So in between the monthly newsletter that you guys do automatically, if say we have a sales special on inventory homes, we could come in here, make up import something from Word and just go send that out whenever we want to.
Yes, and that is the absolute best use of our email marketing module. Okay. I'll just tell you right away, we've done this for many years. And when somebody has inventory and they put together an email campaign and they email the realtors and the prospects that have shown interest in that area, they get appointments almost immediately. And my wife sells homes, coincidentally. It's a pure coincidence, and she does it. And she's sitting on some inventory, and she'll say, look, I need to move this thing, and she'll send out an email, and they'll a buyer incentive or a realtor incentive included, and then she'll have that thing sold in a matter of a few days.
So we should really be making sure that we're building our realtor database in here, but label them as realtor.
Absolutely.
We want to do that campaign just to realtors and not.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll have those realtors on your newsletter as well. And what you do, if you can get a list of your realtors, I don't know how you'll get the list. Maybe you have them already in Outlook or whatever. Wendy's one. Send them to us and tell us these are realtors. We'll load them in the system, and you'll have a database of realtors. And you can go in here and just say, these are my real estate agents. Okay. and you'll be able to go in and you can do an email campaign.
So if we bought a list from the local real estate, you know, like NCREC or Florida Real Estate Commission, we'd be allowed to upload them even though they didn't officially opt in for our email.
If the only
When I asked,
the standard answer to that is no, but we have an exception because we are home builders. We accept realtors to be added to your database because they're part of the industry and they expect to receive these kind of communications. Okay.
What email do we send those lists to? Yeah.
Support.
The support at what?
Topbuildersolutions.com. If you go to the help center, guys, and it says how to get support at the upper right, you have our email addresses and our contact information. You can register for the training. You even have my cell number if you really need me. Okay? So you can email support right from here.
Okay, I think we're good, Dave. So on the 10th, because our auto email is going out the 12th, we should see an email to go approve the
yes,
monthly email.
Yeah, you will. You will.
Okay. Yeah, I think that one last question is, can we link, if we set up an appointment in Top Builder, can it sync with our Outlook calendar, or we saw the export button, or do you just have to export?
Well, we're working on you can export it, but we're working on a better calendar sync than that. Everybody asked that question, and I wish I could tell you we had it right now, but we don't. I'm talking about like a two-way real-time sync is what I'm talking about. We just don't have it yet, but we're gonna get it done.
All right, Dave. I think, man, you did a great job, bud.
Oh, thanks.
I think we're good for now. Let us play with this, and I'm sure in the next couple of weeks we'll want to probably get